Patience is a virtue. This is a chess match now. This is a thinking man's game, a thinking woman's game right now, not to rush into anything. The fools and the suckers have all rushed into the real estate market. They rushed into the stock market. You're not a fool, you're not a sucker, neither am I. The sales are coming. We make money when we buy things on sale, not at full price, certainly not in bubbles, not paying overprice. Millions of people are about to learn a very, very big lesson, unfortunately, for them. So just got off the road and I want to recap a little bit and talk about what happened on Friday. Markets across the board down yet again. Could have been much, much worse. Probably should have been much worse, but they could not save the markets on Friday, but they tried. Dow Jones was down 98 points, S&P down 178 points. One thing I want to say is early Friday morning before markets opened, Dow Jones was down 505 points before the open and closed down only 98 points at the end of the day, but it has been down. Dow Jones has been down 6 weeks straight. NASDAQ, as I said, down 178 points on Friday, records a 5-week losing streak. This is the longest since 2012. And it really, really should have been much worse. You know, they're doing everything that they can to keep these markets afloat right now, but there really is nothing they can do. They're raising rates. Many people out there commented to me for months upon months saying that they weren't even gonna raise rates one time. Well, now we've had 2 rate increases, and now we're gonna have to get ready for a third. A couple articles I wanna share with all of you here. CNBC, titled, "We are nowhere near the bottom. Top economist says as global markets crater." Brunello Rosa said it's hard for markets to be totally optimistic when inflation is going up, growth is going down, and interest rates are rising fast across the globe. Now, I have a question. While all this is happening, when do these markets begin to price in June? We know right now, as we're being told, that we're going to see a 50 basis point rate hike coming this June. 75 basis point rate hikes might not be on the table, but we are going to see several 50 basis point hikes or increases over the next 5 months. Think about what 25 basis points already did to these markets. Now that they're digesting the 50 basis point rate hike, take a look at what's going on. And as I've said, as many of you said, once they begin to raise rates, we're going to see big trouble. And I still really cannot explain what happened the other day when the market went up. Dow Jones went up 932 points, but again, it digested what had happened. It came back to reality and fell over 1,000 points the next day. But more rate increases are coming, and more rate increases mean contraction in the economy. I drove hundreds of miles today. We drove all the way up to the very northern part of Alabama today, and now we're back in the southern part of the state. And I'm already being contacted by real estate agents. I'm seeing property prices already correcting, price reductions, and we have a very, very long way to go. Another article I want to share with all of you today comes from The Hedge. Shocking consumer credit numbers. Everyone is maxing out their credit cards ahead of recession. March, consumer credit exploded to $52.4 billion. $31.4 billion was credit card debt. This is just the beginning of this crash, ladies and gentlemen, the beginning of this economic downturn that we've been talking about now for a couple years. People are in very, very big trouble. They are not prepared. I don't think there's ever been a time where Americans have been so unprepared for a crisis. And the scary thing is most people don't even know that a crisis is right at their doorstep. So many people still oblivious, have no idea what's going on, and by the time that they do, it's going to be too late. And you know, we've been talking about this for a few years now, and I think we got real big trouble around the corner here, ladies and gentlemen. I think things have begun. I don't think there's any way to turn this around. I do believe that the Fed is going to continue to raise rates. I do believe that this economy has been crashing for a number of years. But now, as I've said in the past, it's been a slow death, death by 1,000 cuts. But now it is going to accelerate. You're going to see the acceleration of this economic downturn. While I'm down here in Alabama, and let me tell you, it's a beautiful, beautiful state, really nice people. Gas, regular gas running about $3.88 on average from what I've been paying down here. I was at a grocery store today at Kroger, and I just looked at the price of meat, porterhouse, and it was $15 a pound. Now I believe minimum wage here, correct me if I'm wrong, is $7.50. So when you look at gas prices at around $4 a gallon, porterhouse $15. This is really affecting people. And you know, a lot of these people here they rely on propane. And when you look at energy prices, natural gas, propane, it really affects people down here in the South. And I mean, it's affecting everybody, but people here really, really feel it much, much more. And I've noticed, you know, just even the cars down here, at least in the deep South part of Alabama, you know, I mean, I think I've seen just a handful of Mercedes, couple BMWs. It's really a different world down here. So, you know, if things go up a few cents, it really, really affects people down here in the South. But, you know, I always hear that, you know, people down here are poor. We talk about, you know, all the time, or we hear all the time about the poverty down here in the South. But, you know, people down here live a lot more conservative. They're not driving the type of cars that people in California drive. You know, I look at people I know in Orange County leasing the BMW for $800, $900, $1,100 a month, the Lexus for $1,000 a month, the Mercedes $1,000 a month, living, you know, down in a condo at, you know, $3,000 or $4,000 close to the beach. And, you know, maybe they're making $75,000, $80,000, $100,000, but half of their money is going just to pay the rent so that they can live in those areas, so that they can afford to lease those cars. They have absolutely zero money in the bank. I've known people like this my whole life, and a lot of these people just live this facade. Just look at me, look at me. I don't have anything in the bank. I have no assets. I have no savings, but I have a BMW and a $3,000 apartment, which I'll never own. They never own the car. They're renting the car. They're renting the apartment. They have nothing. And yet these people down here, you know, people judge these people that they're poor and impoverished. But are they really? Are they really? When I look at the people in LA and how they live and the amount of expenses and debt that they have versus maybe people down here who live way, way below their means, they just don't have, I don't think, from what I can see, they don't have the debt that a lot of people in California do. They're not driving the cars that people in California do. They're not having to pay out the taxes, the high rents, and living that lifestyle. So I don't know, who's really more impoverished, the people in LA and Orange County or the people down here in Alabama who really seem to appreciate the simple life and don't really seem to want or need to impress people like so many people do in Southern California. CNBC, used car prices are down from record highs, easing the impact of inflation. Wholesale vehicle prices have dropped 6.4% since the January record. Prices are still extremely high, ladies and gentlemen, but I think this is going to change, just as we're going to see the change in the housing market, where housing is still extremely expensive, but people, sellers especially, are going to begin to realize that they're going to have to lower prices or their house is not going to sell. There are going to be a lot less qualified buyers for real estate. Everybody tells me about the shortage of inventory. Well, what do we got? 1.8 million homes under construction. And now that mortgage that somebody took out last year, that same mortgage now would be twice as much. So we're gonna see a lot less qualified buyers, and we're gonna see a lot more inventory, a lot more inflation, much higher mortgage rates coming to the housing market. So buyer beware, get ready. Housing crash is coming, and I don't think it's that far off. Could it happen within 12 months? Absolutely. Would you buy a house right now? I sure wouldn't. I'm looking at houses, but this is not the time to buy. No way. And I've seen some houses out here that look like very, very nice deals. But what are they going to look like 90 days from now, 180 days from now, a year from now? So, you know, patience is a virtue. This is a chess match now. This is a thinking man's game, a thinking woman's game right now, not to rush into anything. The fools and the suckers have all rushed into the real estate market. They rushed into the stock market. You're not a fool. You're not a sucker. Neither am I. The sales are coming. We make money when we buy things on sale. Not at full price, certainly not in bubbles, not paying overprice. Millions of people are about to learn a very, very big lesson, unfortunately, for them. I was reading an interesting article today on wolfstreet.com. New vehicle sales plunged 15.8% year over year, and by 17.7% from the first quarter of 2019. People have been telling me that auto sales are on fire, and they're wrong. Auto sales are plunging. What is increasing are the prices of these vehicles and what people are paying for them. You know, somebody a while back said that I was really fabricating when I shot a video, I think it was about 2 years ago, showing the auto lots and how full they were and how slow auto sales were. And they go, well, look, they're all empty now. You were wrong. They're all empty now because they don't have chips to put in the cars to put on these lots. That's why they're empty. Auto sales are plunging 15.8% year over year, plunging 17.7% from the first quarter of 2019. Check it out, wolfstreet.com. So yeah, those auto lots were packed with cars. They couldn't get rid of them then, and they can't get rid of them now because they don't even have cars. And so what they're doing is they're just gouging the customer. And prices are skyrocketing on new cars, and people are literally paying more and getting less. People have to borrow more money to fund the purchase of these vehicles, and they're getting less. Bottom line, a lot less. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. Again, just traveling hundreds of miles a day out here well, started in the Gulf, all over the South, up to the North, and now heading back into the southern part of the state. And now we're gonna travel a little bit farther south tomorrow again to look at some properties. And I apologize, I wish that I had the time to really shoot some of the landscape here. Just the beautiful birds, beautiful, beautiful trees. I've never driven through so many trees, so many prairies, so much grass. It's really, it's so green. It's incredible. It has really been surprisingly beautiful here. And I do apologize. So maybe in the next couple days, I might have a little bit more time to shoot some of the landscape, maybe, you know, some of the cattle farms and some of the other small ranches and farms out here. But it is really, really a stunning place, and the people have been very, very nice. And it's so easy to travel here. People drive fast. The roads are in really nice shape, and people are very, very, very courteous while driving. But they drive fast, which I like. We've covered a lot of ground here in the last few days, and hopefully in the next couple days I'll be able to shoot some video and share it with you. But comment down below. What happens Monday morning to these markets? What can resuscitate the markets now? Will they come back, or are they going to continue to plunge? Again, today, it could have been much worse on Friday. It wasn't. What's in store for Monday? And when do these markets begin to price in the 75 basis point rate hike. And what is that going to do to these markets? Comment down below. What do you see for housing? What do you see for the auto market? And what do you see for the stock market? Let me know your thoughts. What's happening in your areas? Are you seeing price reductions? Are you seeing things happening in your local economies, local real estate markets? Let us know. Comment down below. Those comments mean everything. People read them. Lots of people read them. And I'll tell you, they're a lot more truthful than what we're being told on the television. God bless all of you. Have a great weekend. Comment down below. Share these videos. Give it a thumbs up. And hit that bell notification down below. God bless.